Hi, welcome back to Math with me, Maricel Lopez. I am your second grade math virtual content specialist. You can think of me as your teacher's helper. In today's lesson, we will continue our learning about shapes and how to identify them. We will be learning a lot of new vocabulary words. Are you ready to get started? Today, we will be investigating the following question. How can you use attributes to identify and draw different quadrilaterals? There's two words in this question that you probably won't recognize, and those are the words attributes and quadrilaterals. I will explain what they mean. For purposes of today's video, an attribute can be defined as the features of a shape or object. In math, we also call shapes figures. When you're talking about the attributes of a shape or figure, you can mention how many sides or angles it has. For example, a triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles. Those are its attributes. Quadrilaterals can be defined as a closed figure with 4 straight sides and 4 angles. Examples of quadrilaterals are a rectangle, a square, and a trapezoid. They all have 4 sides and 4 angles. Another important vocabulary word when talking about figures is the word polygon. Polygons are closed figures that are two-dimensional, or in other words, flat and made up of line segments. These line segments meet at a point and sometimes may or may not form parallel lines. What do I mean by parallel lines? Well, they are 2 lines that never cross, and they are the same distance apart from each other. For example, if you look at the square and the rhombus and the rectangles, they do have at least one set of parallel lines. So you see this line and this line are parallel from each other, and this line and this line are parallel from each other. The triangle and the pentagon, on the other hand, do not have parallel lines. As you can see on the image on the screen, there are many shapes or figures that you may be familiar with, such as the square, the triangle, the rectangle, the trapezoid. There may be some that you are not familiar with, such as this shape called the parallelogram, or the pentagon might be another shape that you're not familiar with. There are some other words that we use when discussing shapes, such as the word parallel. Let's read this together. Look at the word parallel. The 2 L's in the middle of the word are parallel. In the space to the right, use the line tool in different ways horizontally, diagonally, and practice making more pairs of parallel lines. Well, if you look at the 2 lines above the word parallel, that is what parallel lines are. If you look at the lines on the right, those lines are not parallel lines. Then it asks us to draw parallel lines in the blue box. I will do that by using the draw line icon at the top. Watch with me. You can also draw 2 parallel lines on a sheet of paper or on a blank Google Slides if you'd like. Remember, they look like the 2 letter L's in the word parallel. All right, here we go. I'm going to draw my parallel lines in the blue box. Here's the first one. I went to the top and clicked on the line icon. And here is the second parallel line. Remember the parallelogram that we saw earlier? Do you notice the word parallel in its name? Why do you think this shape is called a parallelogram? I'll give you 15 seconds to think about it. All right, time's up. I'll give you a hint. It is because these 2 lines are parallel to each other, And also these two lines are parallel to each other. That's why it's called a parallelogram. Did you know that there are real-life examples of parallel lines all around you? Train tracks, for instance, are parallel lines. They have parallel lines going horizontally and parallel lines going vertically across. Also, have you seen one of these crosswalks whenever you're crossing the street? It has parallel lines as well. How many parallel lines do you see here? Count them. Can you think of any other parallel lines that you have seen in real life? Let's review. Polygons are closed figures that are two-dimensional and have parallel lines. Attributes are words that we use to describe figures. We can talk about the number of sides the figure has, the number of corners, and quadrilaterals are closed figures with 4 straight sides and 4 angles. Wow, mathematician, you did an amazing job learning about figures and vocabulary words used when talking about polygons. Don't forget to save your work to show it to your teacher. Keep up the great work, mathematician. Until next time, bye-bye.